All right, so I'm going to be covering this weird audio issue in the 2004 to 2008 Acura TL. This one is a navigation model, but when you turn on the sound, you can hear at full volume. The speakers are just kind of weak and they sound a little distorted. And it's almost totally gone when it's at what normal volume would be. And there's some test procedures on all this, and they all kind of come back to these steps here, where you are simply checking for power and ground and continuity between everything. And in the actual TSB for this issue, it has you go and check connections between all the speakers. But just based off of the issues that I'm having with this car, the audio unit seems to work because I can get sound. I can go into this and change the bias front and rear, and it all works. But it's just weak and distorted, kind of like the amplifier not doing its job. And so what you first want to do is you probably want to take it out, and let me get these connectors out. So these are the two connectors that go into the amplifier, and the amp kind of sits up like this. And by the way, to get this top bolt off, you just need to break it loose. I use a wobbly and a deep 10 mil 1/4 inch. But once you get that out, you have two big pins in the center. The white one will be your power and the black one is your ground. And it's shared power with the audio unit as well. It tees off at some point. And once you've double checked that all that is good, that you have good ground and all that, you kind of just need to get another amplifier to test it out. And if you just happen to have a second TL, because they're great cars, you can go to the junkyard or eBay and pick up another one. I got this one from the junkyard. It was only $50. They're usually around $100 at this time on eBay, or you can get remanufactured ones that are even more expensive. But then you just have to kind of plug and play. The instructions, the last step on both of these is to just kind of test it with a different amplifier. And you don't really want to be tearing apart the entire dash to get inside the audio unit to test that. So it's way easier just to get a new amplifier in it. And I'll go ahead and plug this in and we can test it out. Okay, now that that's plugged in, it's way better. And all this still works. You can change it front to rear, side to side, and it sounds much clearer, much crisper. And taking this apart, I'll show you a little bit about that, but I think I might have found a possible cause as to why these things fail. This is what the amplifier looks like taken apart. There's just a few screws along the back, the front, and then the side that go right through here. And you can see this corresponding holes here on this heatsink. And what I think a common issue is on these is actually the amplifier chips themselves and how they mount to the casing, because that's all one heatsink. And so these should be getting good contact with that. They should have a compound on them. But you can see that they just bolt straight to it. And so you only have a little contact spot right here a line through here, and then a little bit more on this one, but it's still just not very much. And so there's a good chance that those chips are what fail on these amplifiers. And also when you're testing it, you want to check for continuity between these two pins. These are your power and your ground pins. And the actual connector, there'll be the white and black pins. The white is your power, and that's shared power with the audio unit.